Have you ever caught yourself sitting back, watching someone react to a stressful situation with a typical panic and frustration, and thought to yourself, I used to be like that? It's almost as if you've developed an inner calmness that just wasn't there before, a sense of clarity that allows you to think clearly when everything around you is falling apart. That's wisdom, and it's something that as we age tends to emerge in more subtle ways than we often recognize. As we grow older, we begin to realize that our years on this earth have granted us more than just gray hair and a few more wrinkles. We've collected experiences, made mistakes, learned from them, and somehow, without even meaning to, we've started to handle life a bit differently. And if you're over 60, you've likely already started noticing this shift within yourself. But here's the catch. Wisdom doesn't always come with loud accolades or flashy recognition. In fact, the real wisdom, what truly makes you a wise elder, often goes unnoticed by the people around you. The world may not always voice its appreciation, but your actions and decisions speak louder than you think. Let's take a moment and reflect. Think about how you handle life's challenges today compared to when you were younger. Maybe there's a sense of patience that wasn't there before. Or perhaps you've developed a knack for letting go of things that once would have stressed you out. Those small shifts are the building blocks of wisdom. And the more you pay attention, it's often said that wisdom comes with age. But what does that really mean? It's not about accumulating knowledge or memorizing facts. It's about learning how to live with intention, how to navigate life's challenges with grace, and how to make decisions that bring peace, not just to yourself, but to the people around you. So, how do you know if you've started walking the path of wisdom, even as nobody says it out loud? When you were younger, making decisions might have felt like a process of elimination. What was easiest? What caused the least amount of trouble? You may have been more inclined to go with your gut, to pick the answer that felt right at the moment. But as time goes on, you start to understand that decisions are rarely black and white, and the path to the right choice is often filled with complexities and nuances. This shift doesn't happen overnight. It's something that sneaks up on you after years of grappling with life's challenges. Now, when faced with a decision, you probably take a moment to think it through. You weigh the pros and cons, but not just in terms of what benefits you right now. You start considering the long-term impact of your decisions, how they'll affect not only your own life, but the lives of those around you. You take into account the emotional, social, and even spiritual consequences of what you're about to do. This shift is often backed by science as well. Research has shown that as we age, our ability to process complex situations and foresee the long-term consequences of our actions improves. A study from the University of California, Berkeley, found that older adults tend to make more careful, well-thought-out decisions than younger individuals, in part because they have more experience with life's ups and downs and understand how choices can ripple through the years. Your capacity to embrace the complexity of decision-making is one of the clearest signs of growing wisdom. It's not about having all the answers, but about recognizing that life is rarely simple, and sometimes the right answer requires a little patience and perspective. Think about the last time you were caught in a stressful situation. Maybe it was a difficult conversation or a sudden change in plans that threw you off course. Chances are, you didn't respond the way you might have in your younger years. Instead of reacting impulsively or letting your emotions dictate your actions, you took a step back. You might have taken a deep breath, reflected on your feelings, and then decided how best to respond. This ability to manage emotions is another hallmark of wisdom. As we age, we become more adept at recognizing and regulating our emotions. We don't let our anger, frustration, or sadness get the best of us. This isn't just about self-control. It's about emotional intelligence. According to a study conducted by the University of California, Berkeley, older adults tend to show greater emotional regulation than younger people, likely due to the development of coping mechanisms and a better understanding of their emotional landscape. Being able to step back and reflect on your emotions before acting is a powerful sign of wisdom. It shows that you've learned the value of emotional balance. In fact, many studies suggest that those who are able to regulate their emotions tend to experience better mental health and more fulfilling relationships. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. And as you get older, it seems to become easier. You've likely noticed this yourself. The ability to put yourself in someone else's shoes. This skill may have developed over time through years of experience and exposure to the diverse human conditions around you. Where younger people might focus more on the task at hand, or perhaps how they are personally affected by a situation, wise elders focus on the emotional and psychological well-being of those around them. You've learned that sometimes just listening is more important than giving advice. You've learned that people don't always need solutions. They need someone who understands and validates their feelings. Scientific studies support this, showing that empathy and compassion increase with age. As we grow older, we tend to focus less on material gains or personal advancement, and more on fostering emotional connections with others. This shift in priorities has a profound impact on our relationships and overall well-being. Research published in the Journal of Gerontology found that older adults report higher levels of empathy and compassion than younger adults, often because they have accumulated more life experiences and understand the emotional complexities of others. In our younger years, it's easy to get caught up in the race for success. We chase promotions, wealth, recognition, and status, believing that these external markers will bring happiness. But as you age, you begin to see through that illusion. You start to realize that the things that truly matter in life aren't the things you can buy or the accolades you can earn. They are the relationships you nurture and the time you spend with loved ones. This change in priorities is a significant sign of wisdom. You start to see life through a different lens, one that values human connection over material success. Research has shown that social connections and strong relationships are among the most important predictors of happiness and longevity, especially as a study from Harvard University revealed that people who have close, supportive relationships live longer and experience better physical health than those who focus primarily on their careers or material possessions. As you get older, you likely find yourself investing more in the relationships that truly matter: family, close friends, and community. Understanding that these connections provide a deeper sense of fulfillment than anything money can buy. This shift in priorities is not only a sign of wisdom, it's also one of the most fulfilling aspects of aging. As we accumulate experiences, both good and bad, we start to see the world differently. When we were younger, we might have focused on our immediate needs and desires, constantly chasing the next big thing. But over time, you begin to develop a broader perspective. You start to see life as a series of interconnected events, each with its own lesson and purpose. This shift in perspective is a crucial sign of wisdom. It's not just about seeing things through your own eyes anymore. It's about recognizing that every person, every situation, and every experience holds valuable lessons that contribute to your growth. Studies have found that older adults tend to focus less on immediate gratification and more on long-term. This shift in focus is linked to the brain's ability to prioritize meaning and depth as we age. Perhaps one of the most profound signs of wisdom in later life is the ability to find purpose beyond oneself. As you age, you begin to understand that life is about more than just personal success or comfort. It's about contributing to the greater good, whether through helping others, sharing your knowledge, or making a positive impact on your community. Research shows that having a sense of purpose is strongly linked to better health outcomes and longer life. Studies have found that older adults with a strong sense of purpose are less likely to develop chronic diseases, experience depression, or suffer from cognitive decline. So, as we reflect on the signs of wisdom that often go unspoken, it becomes clear. Wisdom isn't something that is given to you just because you've aged. It's something you earn through years of experience, reflection, and growth. And even if the world doesn't always acknowledge it, these signs are present in the choices you make, the relationships you foster, and the way you approach life's challenges. Maybe nobody says it out loud, but you are the wise elder you've always admired, and it's time to start recognizing that within yourself. Embrace the wisdom that has quietly formed over the years, and continue to share it with those around you, whether they acknowledge it or not.